Leeds United have absolutely smashed their way through Nottingham Forest in the Premier League on Friday night, winning 3-1 under the lights at Elland Road. And ultimately, it was an easier match than a lot of people predicted. And it made a few people think twice about their own sort of personal opinions around specific players, around the club, around strategy, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get into all of those throughout this video. But before I do, pop a like on it, subscribe, and you might notice that I'm not moving too much. I've only got one hand that is doing the moving. It's because holding baby again. Sorry about that one. Anyway, like, subscribe, and all that. Anyway, let's get into it. And I think one of the main sets of doubters that was silenced in this match was definitely the people that looked at the lineup, as they have done time and time and time again this season, and seen Ilia Gruev's name, and they've gone, that's not good enough. We're going to lose this one. Because Ilia Gruev, what he's done so far this season, has been a sort of steady presence that does what he does reasonably consistently. He's been the kind of guy that will pick up a ball and recycle it a little bit and make sure that we are retaining possession as much as we can, and then when we don't have possession, that's where he gets into the gritty, tackly side of the game, which he does pretty damn well. The difference between this match and previous matches is that he sort of added that creativity to his game as well, and you can tell by the way that he had two genuinely excellent assists. The first of them, that perfectly weighted long ball up to Jayden Bogle. I'll get onto that goal in a minute, by the way, because I think there's a little bit more to that than a lot of people think. But that being the first of them, and the second being the weird cross/shot into Calvert-Lewin, being close enough to the goal to make the goalkeeper think, I might have to deal with this, but giving Calvert-Lewin the time to get that flick on with his chest, put it into the back of the net. Perfect. Leeds United at that point leading 3-0. Ilia Gruev, if he isn't playing in that game, I don't think we win that comfortably, because he really was a little bit of a difference maker, and hopefully it means that in the future when people see his name on the team sheet, they kind of go, you know what, I think we give him a little bit of time, I think we give him a chance. A lot of people might not, but I can kind of hope that we do. I was going to take this as a sort of going throughout the side from the back to the front, but come to think of it, there's not really a point, because the defence didn't have much to do at all, and what they had to do they dealt with very easily. The thing with centre-backs is if you don't notice them, that's because they've done a pretty damn good job. And that was the case from Strauch and Rodon in this game, and I'm never going to ask more of a pair of centre-backs than to be not noticed, because that's all they had to do. Behind them, however, you had Carl Darlow, and I've fairly consistently said that between Darlow and Perry, I probably lean towards Perry, but any goalkeeper's got a mistake in them, and we saw that from Darlow earlier in the week. But this was a little bit different. Darlow showed a little bit of a special pizzazz about him. There were a couple of genuine wonder saves, including the one where he manages to spring like a cat and push it around the post in the first half. And then, in addition to that, the one where ball's coming his way, he's dived for the initial shot, it's deflected, and he's somehow managed to get up anyway and then flick it again to push it wide, which is genuinely a fantastic bit of goalkeeping. For me, the fact that we got two goalkeepers contending for that number one spot is ultimately what we need. A lot of people look at it and go, neither of them have really grabbed onto the number one shirt. I'm not asked about that in the slightest, to be honest. If we've got two decent quality goalkeepers, and yeah, they've made mistakes, but they're still decent goalkeepers, fighting for the place, that means they are going to push each other as hard as they can up to the end of the season to really grab their place, whether it's in this squad next season, because Darlow's contract expires, so he might be trying to get a new contract, or as the number one, because Lucas Perry kind of needs to do that, with rumours coming out around us wanting to sign a goalkeeper. You can see that they might step up their game a bit. Going forwards a little bit, Brendan Aronson was again an absolute fucking nightmare on the pitch, in a good way. He was an absolute terror. He picks up the ball, he's able to find those nice little one-touch passes to put his teammates through. His dribbling has improved exponentially in recent weeks and months. And weirdly, the same for Okafor tonight. Okafor seemed like he was happy to sort of take on a man. He was happy to really sort of challenge and try to force that like offensive output, whereas normally he's sort of struggled a little bit on that front, which is a little bit of a shame. Like, we know he's got a lot to his game, it's just not come out fairly consistently. This was another night where it definitely did, and that pairing up with Gudmundsson showed that when Gudmundsson isn't here, we're really sort of missing out. The fact he's now present definitely helps us, And if he's able to sort of keep working with Goodmanson on those overlapping runs, the underlapping runs, and make sure that everyone is sort of performing to their best in that nice little machine that we've got there, beautiful. In addition to that, Calvert-Lewin, up to 10. Absolutely nothing to complain about, but I think he had a massive part to play in the Bogle goal too. So for that goal, you see, and there was a little bit of mention about it being a sort of planned out strategy that we were doing. But there's a certain point where DCL drops in a little bit to sort of a little bit close to the halfway line, and their back line quite obviously thinks, right, okay, so I see both of the sort of 10s wingers in front of me. I see the striker in front of me, he's going that way, I think I should follow. They don't pay attention to the fact that Jayden Bogle has just gone, and he's in behind. And Calvert-Lewin's movement there to sort of pull that defence up means that Bogle has as much space as he could possibly dream of to get that really, really nice finish under the goalkeeper. The fact that we're able to sort of do things like that is a sign that we've got genuinely good management at the moment. A lot of people will look at it and they'll go, well, he had a bad start to the season. Maybe, yeah, but all of football is about learning and developing and growing your tactics and becoming a better squad. Being in a position where you're able to, on the training ground, say, right, striker, pull deeper, that drags everyone out of position, wing back, go. To be able to see that, plan it out in training, and then successfully use it in a match is genuinely fantastic. Set pieces, fine, you know what a set piece is going to look like. These sort of in-game moments are far more difficult to coach, which is why Bielsa got so many plaudits from everyone. Because all he would do is the consistent in-game movements. And it's something we see a little bit less common from Daniel Farke, but I think this is a sign that it's something that is genuinely something that we're working on and will honestly push us to that higher level if we're able to keep doing it very, very consistently. And this is just going to be in my opinion thing, but I think this is a pretty good sign for the transfer policy as well. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people are looking at our squad and going, it's very, very thin. It's the same depth as other squads in this league. The difference is we're not familiar with seeing these names perform at Premier League level. And the fact that we've come out of a transfer deadline day where we got no one and everyone was sort of screaming, we're going to go down now. And we've come out of losing to Arsenal 4-0 where everyone was screaming, this is the start of the end. And we've just absolutely pumped a relegation rival is all we could have asked for. And I think it's a vindication of, at the moment, the transfer strategy and the fact that if you are going to gamble on it, you need to make your opportunities count. And this opportunity was definitely made to count, in my opinion. At the moment, we're 9 points clear of the relegation zone. Yes, West Ham get to play Burnley, but they can always drop points. And regardless, no matter what, we're at least 6 points clear at the end of this match week. We're currently 6 points off 35, 35 being the sort of standard of if you get to 35, you're probably safe. And we've got that with a hell of a lot of matches left. So all that considered, I'm feeling very confident about our chance of staying up this season. And I personally think it's going to happen. I think we're looking good. But as always, that is just all what I think. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. It'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Become a channel member as well. Hope you all enjoyed. I might do a stream today. I've not decided. It's my birthday, so we'll see if I'm feeling the energy. Yeah. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all later. Toodaloo, amigos. Another 3 points in the bag. Yay.